the circus, bring the disco down. Happy folklore anniversary, everybody. It is July 23rd when I film, and that is the day that Taylor Swift released, to everyone's surprise, Folklore, which won the album of the year at the Grammys. Deserved. Anyways, I just needed to mention that because it's essential, I think, for everyone to recognize the national, international holiday that this is. Hello, welcome to a Sunny Book Nook. Today I am going to be doing the mid-year book Freakout tag, but I don't really have long because I have to record a podcast episode. By the way, go follow or subscribe to my podcast, The Lavender Menace, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Please, please, please. Especially if you're a Swiftie, because we talk about Taylor Swift in basically every episode, and I talk about a lot of books on there, and we have interviews with like authors and cool people, and it's very fun. Anyways, okay, quick plug. So, the mid-year book Freakout tag. Every year people do this. I did this last year as well, and I think it's just something a little fun for the summertime, etc. It is past the mid-year point because it is the end of July. However, I'm still gonna do it. Why not? Okay, so the first question in the tag is the best book that you've read in the year so far. I've already talked about a bunch of these. You can watch my mid-year top 10 book favorites for this, but off the top of my head, oh, and these are all sapphic, by the way, the list that I have here. The Divines by Ellie Eaton, A Curse of Roses by Diana Pinguicha, Yellow Jessamine by Caitlin Starling, and Princess Florinda and the 40 Flight Tower by Tamsin Muir. The next question is the best sequel that you've read this year so far, and I don't read that many series, so I would have to say the second book in the Singing Hill cycle, duology, sci-fi novella duology by Nevo, When the Tiger Came Down the Mountain. I've already talked about this one before on the channel. Liked it more than the first one. The third question on this list is new release that you haven't read yet but you really want to, and that book is She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. I think this is a Chinese fantasy sapphic book. That's all I need to know. I'm gonna fucking read it, and I really want to. Number 4 question is most anticipated release for the year. Everyone already knows my answer to this, and everyone has been giving this answer. That is Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. Of course, duh. I'm a Sally Rooney stan, as you know, normal people get it are. Okay, so number 5, biggest disappointment. So my biggest disappointment of the year so far was definitely Nevo's latest release, The Chosen and the Beautiful. I didn't think it was bad per se, but to be honest, I'm just not a big Roaring 20s, Great Gatsby kind of gal, it's just not what I really am into. It didn't really, do anything for me, so I am not the biggest fan. I rated it 3 stars because I think it's a fine book, but it just wasn't for me. The next question on this list is biggest surprise, and for this one I'm going to talk about a book that I haven't talked about on this channel yet because I read it this month, and that is The Original by Brandon Sanderson and Mary Robinette Kowal. This book was an incredible sci-fi novella about replicas and clones of yourself and the government agencies and private information and knowledge, and it was wild. I did not expect anything from it. I just saw it on Scribd or something, started listening to it, and was fucking blown away. Biggest surprise, I was amazed. Number 7 question is favorite new author, and definitely Ellie Eaton. We read her debut novel and we interviewed her on the podcast, and The Divines, which is on my list, on various lists. So good, so incredible. Can't wait to read her new release, which I think will be coming out next year. Don't know the title, don't know anything about it, but she's a new favorite author for sure. Question number 8 is newest fictional crush. And I would definitely have to say Kit Riva from Malibu Rising. Queer icon, like lesbian queen, for real. I just love her for being a sporty little spunky chick. I love that for her, and I have a crush on her, so yeah. And conversely, number 9, my newest favorite character is Nina Riva, who's the oldest sibling of the Riva siblings in Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So yeah, I just admire her a lot, and plus I'm an oldest daughter, oldest sibling as well, and I just think she's so responsible, hot, and caring and considerate, and that's all I could ever hope to be. Love her. Question number 10, book that made you cry. Definitely Her Name in the Sky by Kelly Quinlan. I was fucking sobbing. Question number 11 is book that made you happy, and I would have to say Finley Donovan is Killing It by Ellie Kosamana. This book was such a delight to read. It was so funny, even though it was a fucking thriller, and it's about like killing evil men. Love a thriller that is about killing evil men. And it's about like a housewife who writes romance suspense novels getting roped into it, coincidentally. I just thought it was so delightful, and it did just bring so much joy to my heart. Number 12, the most beautiful book that I've bought or received this year. Most of them are at home in St. Louis. I'm in Boston right now, so I can't really answer this question because I would have to go look at my shelf of, bought books. And, I don't have that with me, so yeah. Next question, and the last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I just started reading Caliban and the Witch by Sylvia Federici, which is a seminal Marxist feminist text that I've read a bunch of excerpts from over the years, but I haven't read it in its completion, in its entirety, and every Marxist feminist you will ever talk to will tell you to read this book. Any feminist worth their salt will tell you to read this book, and I've read a lot of American intersectional feminist text, but not as much like international stuff, and this was published in Italy, I think. The author is Italian. I just need to read more feminist theory. I've been kind of off my book theory game lately because I've just been reading a lot more shorter pieces of theory that you can find on the internet and PDF and on Marxist.org and whatever, but I haven't really read a 200, 300 page book like I was doing last year, so I really want to get to and finish this one. And the other book that I really need to read by the end of the year is Saarland by River Solomon. Again, it's at home. And another one that's over there that I don't want to go pick up is Piranesi by Susanna Clark. Another book that I really want to read before the end of the year. And honestly, I have so many that I could list here because my TBR is never ending, and I'm always looking to read one book or another, but by the end of the year or by a certain time period. But yeah. Okay, so that's the video. Very quick, very short. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to do this tag, please do it. I feel like everyone whom I watch has already done it at this point, but yeah. This was fun, always good for me to look back on and for me to be like, okay, yeah, this is what's up with my reading at the midpoint of the year every year. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me in a sunny book nook, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!